All right, hey, this is Act 2 of the podcast. We're getting right back into it. If you missed Act 1, go back and listen to that thing. Otherwise, this isn't going to make any sense. Okay, see ya. All right, I'm back. Trump has said, when he was speaking in Switzerland today, I don't know what the hell it's for, but he went all the way to Switzerland, and he said, I am not going to take Greenland by force. He hadn't said that before. So yesterday, he was asked, will you take Greenland by force? And he wouldn't answer. Now, this just shows you how tricky and silly, frankly, Wall Street is. Got all these publicly traded companies, and investors, when they hear that Trump is not saying that, he's not answering that question yesterday, it makes investors a little fidgety, and it changes what they're doing with their money. And that caused the stock market to take a historic dump. Nearly 1,000 points. I think it was like 870 points. It took a shit. Today, he announced officially he is not going to take Greenland by force, which just the idea of that, the fact that he had to announce that, oh my God. The Dow is responding. It is up 445 points from yesterday after the disaster that was that. God damn it. But he says that he is going to get it, and I actually believe that he will. I believe that Greenland will become part of the U.S. I do believe that. Why do I believe that? Because he's going to make this a sweet deal for Denmark. But maybe I'm just thinking out loud. It doesn't matter what I think. What he wants, though, what I believe is he wants like the ability to utilize the minerals that are there. Same thing with Canada. He wanted Canada, and people are like, why do you want Canada? I know why he wants Canada. He wants the resources, including the fucking trees. So I don't know. Maybe he won't, considering what he would do to the island. Man Bun Chris says, uninformed sports dude here. Why does he want it? And there's two things that stand out. He has said it's for security reasons, because if the U.S. doesn't get it, then he says China and or Russia would take it. But that's a big if. I don't know if that's the case. And he says if China or Russia have it, that's a strategic problem and a security problem for the United States. Patrick says Greenland is loaded with resources to make batteries. That's what I feel he wants it for. And I just wish he'd come out and say it. I mean, strategically, sure, but we're going to fucking mine the shit out of that place. He said he would not use military force to invade and acquire Greenland in a bid to ease nerves in Europe after he previously said he would not exclude the option. He said today, that's probably the biggest statement I made because people thought I would use force, he said of his earlier comments, that he wouldn't rule out the military. I don't have to use force. I don't want to use force. I won't use force. All the United States is asking for is a place called Greenland, he added. I don't know. Maybe he won't get it. This is interesting. There was another time that the United States purchased land from Denmark. Now, if you already know this story, don't spoil it, because it's got a M. Night Shyamalan plot twist. In, I believe it was 1913, give or take, the United States purchased an island. Actually, 1917. The 1917 Treaty of the Danish West Indies saw what is now known as the U.S. Virgin Islands bought by the United States for $25 million back then, which is roughly $633 million today, in exchange for, in part, accepting Danish sovereignty over Greenland. Among those islands, there was about 60 and some protruding rocks that all became U.S. property. Of all those islands, was this one right here. I actually have an aerial photo of it. And that island eventually was sold to a super wealthy guy named Jeffrey Epstein. One of those islands became Epstein Island. My God. So, last time U.S. bought anything from Denmark, 1917, they bought U.S. Virgin Islands. One of those islands became Epstein's Island. And now we're trying to buy from Denmark again, but a much bigger island, Greenland. And so that would, I mean, can you imagine the amount of trafficking that you could do in Greenland with that much space wide open and all the hidden zones? God damn. That's just so strange to me that the last time this happened, it was Epstein Island. And now here we are all these years in the future. And Trump walks around Ford plant and the Ford plant, and people are yelling, pedophile protector. The one guy, which, by the way, that guy, pedophile protector auto worker, he has ordered no more fundraising on the GoFundMes, which I didn't even know that there was a GoFundMe. I might have mentioned it once, but this is the guy here, TJ Sabula. He's the auto worker that yelled pedophile protector, and Trump gave him the finger and told him to fuck off, which I thought he said you're fired to him. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. At last check, it was more than $800,000. And so, of the two, you know he's got north of $1 million now. And they were made not by him, but he was the beneficiary. And yeah, so all he did was yell pedophile protector, and then he got suspended by Ford. And now he's a millionaire. TJ Sabula GoFundMe amount. Yeah. $811,000 in support of TJ Sabula. Because so many people hate Trump, they want to support this guy. Thomas is his real first name. This says the GoFundMe campaign, now at $811,000, has been closed. The First Amendment is a beautiful thing. Congrats to TJ. You are a true patriot. Yeah, you know what's crazy to me? Is that America will band together and give a guy nearly $1 million for telling the president to go fuck himself. And then it's hard as hell to raise money for fucking children's cancer. People willingly will part with their money for a guy who tells president to suck his dick. Tofa says, I mean, Trump hates unions, and he is friends with the Ford douchebag. I can see them ignoring the UAW and risking the lawsuits, talking about the potential for that guy getting fired. Yeah, maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Fact of the matter is, he's got nearly $1 million. That's the story. Who cares if he gets fucking fired? He's got $1 million. That's quite a thing, man. Fuck me. That's that GoFundMe thing. If you strike when the iron is hot, you can, oh God, in an instant, your life is upside down. You kind of want to hope for that. That's why you always got to be the nice guy. You always got to help the little old lady across the street. And then when somebody like asks you about it, you got to make up a story like, yeah, I'm broke. I'm just walking out around here looking for work, and I just happen to help this little old lady across the street. Next thing you know, you've got $5 million. Because that's a version of virtue signaling. Because some housewife mom, some wine mom is going to see you and say, everybody, let's join forces and raise money for this poor slob Eric Zane who's helping this little old lady across the street. And then all of a sudden, you're filthy fucking rich. Incredible. How much cash do you think EZ would have raked in if GoFundMe was around when he got fired from Free Beer and Hot Wings? Oh, boy, you're not kidding. That was a big deal. It was like one of the top, for that moment, it was a trending topic on X or Twitter for extended time. That was so strange to me. Man Bun Chris says, that's where most of our funds come from, NPSL, platform similar to GoFundMe. I wonder if guy who told president to go fuck himself has gotten more money for fundraisers surrounding Renee Good, the lady who got shot in the face in Minneapolis by Ice Guy. Vega Spy DR says EZ should have done it, though. So that would have been something if I, like, organized my own GoFundMe. Ben Glaze says Fireversary GoFundMe February. No, I couldn't do that. I would never do that. We could do one for Ben Glaze, though. Word on the street is Ben Glaze just got blocked by our pal Free Beer on Instagram. And I know that probably hurts Ben's soul. Ben is such a sweetheart. He's willing to drop the joke hammer, which is cool. They're jokes when we bust their balls. But when something happens like he gets blocked, he probably wept over that. It is nearly impossible to make Ben angry. Ben says it makes me feel bad because I'm a real pussy. Yeah, Ben's willing to jump in on the fun of who are these free beers, but if something like this happens, you're right. Then he's like, oh no. All right. How about this video? This dude is he's a pastor in Pennsylvania. He's doing his sermon, and some wacko comes in there, walks right up to him, pulls a pistol, aims it at the pastor, and pulls the trigger. Problem for potential murderer. Gun jams.
In a whole different kingdom than God. And God had chose.
Jesus.
That was the weakest takedown I've ever seen in my life. This almost looks staged. Get that microphone away from the speaker.
In a whole different kingdom than
I don't know.
God. And God had chose.
Jesus.
What do you guys think? Is that legit? If we suddenly see a GoFundMe, we'll know. Piano Finger Banger says, I like how no one else is helping. Megan says, not a mega church. If it was purple, would have end on him. I don't know what that means. The reaction does seem very light for that alleged situation. Yeah, they should have been stomping his fucking head into the ground. Rich says it looks staged. All right, totally different topic. Kid Rock. We haven't heard from Kid Rock in a while. The topic was Kid Rock has been all over Springsteen. Springsteen's been talking on some of his concerts and whatever. You know, Springsteen's on the left, Kid Rock's on the right. I don't give a shit. Kid Rock was on, who's this, Jesse Waters? Yes, Jesse Waters Primetime. He's been on there before. This was the show that Kid Rock said, hey, here's my Halloween costume. And he put a mask on. And Waters says, what are you going as? And Kid Rock said, in our word. And then the Special Olympics, they got pissed off. Oh, God, it was bad. This is the only time we can talk about Kid Rock is when he uses his mouth. That's the only publicity he gets. Does he even make music anymore?
When you play your concerts,
If it's low, sorry, you might have to turn it up. I'll try to work on the volume a little bit here.
When you play your concerts, do you ever see anybody with blue hair, armpit hair, female armpit hair? Some of these people we're looking at, kid, I don't know.
Man, listen, I was just watching your clips.
Talking about the protesters.
And, you know, we have this low birth rate in America. And it all made sense to me. It just hit me right now because who's going to sleep with these ugly-ass, broke, crazy, deranged, TDS liberal women? I mean, you look at these rallies, it's like a bunch of women that no guy wants to sleep with and a bunch of dudes that want to sleep with each other.
Have you seen what Comey...
All right. Now, I'll just say this. The footage that they showed there of the people, I did not want to have sex with any of those women. I can't say. I will just say in general, most people on the planet I don't want to have sex with. That's just Kid Rock being Kid Rock. Becca Shea says, who wants to sleep with him? Megan says, has he ever looked in the mirror? Yeah, I don't think he looks bad there at all. I think he's just a douchebag, though. The only thing he does for a living nowadays is pot stirring, which you know I love pot stirring. I pot stir my own special way. He pot stirs his own special way. Do I like the shit that he says? Usually no. Do I like his music? I still like his music, the stuff that I listened to when I liked him. But, goddamn, he has a very easy way to piss people off. I mean, he knows exactly what he's doing. And that's what you do. You dress up like an idiot. You go on this show. You make a horrible comment like that. And then you just go about your day. I cannot ever say anything bad about that mentality. That is what I do nearly every day. I am not that different than what I do is not that different than what he does or what Trump does. I just aim it at a different group of people. Ben Glaze talks about the Kid Rock song We the People, which has Let's Go Brandon chants in it. Same thing as, what do you call it? Ted Nugent, you know? I mean, the guy just spouts off. If Bruce Springsteen spouts off, why is it not okay for Kid Rock to spout off? They're not the same. Kid Rock is a little bit more inflammatory in the things that he says, but who cares? Bruce is going to say what he's going to say. Kid Rock's going to say what he's going to say. People say, easy, where do you side? I was like, I don't. Well, do you hate Bruce Springsteen now because he said the things he said? I go, no, I love Bruce Springsteen. Yeah, but he said that shit. It's anti-American. I go, I don't give a fuck. If he said he wants to have sex with kids, he still makes great music. I don't care about what he says. What about Kid Rock, man? He says bad things about this group and that group, and he sounds like a racist. I go, I know, but I still like that song, Born Free. I don't ever let that slow me down. I am more likely to listen to an artist when they say something that pisses certain groups of people off. I love that. I think one of the things that annoys me is when people say, yeah, why don't you just shut up and dribble? Or why don't you just shut up and play music? No, don't shut up. Because first of all, it gives us something to talk about. It's all about dialogue. But the problem is most Americans can't take what Kid Rock says and what Bruce Springsteen says with a grain of salt. America needs to learn to shrug and go, so what? So what? And you don't have to be like me, like him or not like him or whatever, but just understand that these are idiots just like we're idiots. We all have ridiculous, idiotic opinions about most things. No one's right nor wrong, period. Depending on the moment, though, like Kid Rock, if he does stupid shit, I'll say, oh, you fucking asshole, you douchebag. But that's also playing into what he wants you to do. It's much easier for him to go on Jesse Waters and make a comment than it is to make an entire album. That's not easy work to put together music. Especially nowadays, the only way artists make money is by going on tour. Which, by the way, Kid Rock is coming to Hastings, Michigan, to the Berry County Expo Center. Now, that is MAGA. That's one of the MAGA strongholds of the United States. And that is going to kick ass. I wish I had $1,700 laying around for the 2 nights, because you're going to see all these hillbilly acts like Jason Aldean, and you're going to see all these hillbilly people doing hillbilly shit, and I'd be able to bring the fucking fraud bus, but it's expensive. Now you get to hook up 50 amp, which I need, and I'd have a 20 by 50 foot space, and I'd get passes for me and my whole group. But I don't have I don't want to spend $1,600 on seeing it. And I hate being in spaces like that. If I'm going to do any camping, I'm going up to Fear Bunker North. Hey, this is Eric Zane, and your information is being sold online. You know, the personal stuff. Search your own name. It's surprising what's out there. That's because people are taking your information and they're selling it. I've got a way to make all of your personal information disappear. You are not for sale. Whether you agreed to it or not, that information is available for people to buy and sell. Not okay. It's 100% true. Data brokers make billions selling your private details, and you get nothing. You don't even get a choice. Aura lets you fight back. AURA. They remove your personal data from broker sites and keep it off. Aura also alerts you fast if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura is more than just data broker removal. It's a full digital security suite that protects every part of your life online. Aura gives you a VPN to stay private, antivirus to block threats, a password manager to keep logins safe, and spam call protection to cut off the scammers. Aura also scans the dark web for your most sensitive info like your social security number, bank logins, and passwords, and notifies you instantly if they are exposed. And if your identity is ever stolen, you're backed up by up to $5 million in insurance and 24/7 U.S.-based fraud support to help you recover quickly. And right now, you can try Aura free for 14 days when you visit aura.com/remove. AURA.com/remove. That's enough time for Aura to start removing your personal information from data broker sites. Sign up today at aura.com/remove and get the peace of mind that your privacy, identity, and finances are safeguarded. AURA.com/remove. Certain terms apply. See the site for details. Scott says the last time I saw him, it was his hype man doing all the work. He barely did anything. Man Bun Chris says they'd steal the medal on it if he brought that. By the way, I'm going to have to cut this short because Bruce or O'Neill is losing his mind again. I think he has to go potty. I'll get to that in a second. What was I going to say? Oh, fuck. I was going to say something about that event. It was there and then it's gone. God, I hate that. It's a bad feeling when you forget what the fuck you're talking about. Thank you to Merchant Automotive. If you've got an Allison transmission truck with a Duramax engine and you're in the weeds, take it to Merchant Automotive. Online at merchant-automotive.com. Actually, I'm going to do two sponsors, and then I'm going to go let O'Neill out and come back and finish things up. He's got to go potty. Kuiper Tree Care in West Michigan. One of my great sponsors. Mention my name when you talk to them at Kuiper Tree Care. 616-828-8225. All right, I'll be right back. Sorry. Kind of weird, but he pees all the time because of the steroids. I'm back. Nick makes a great point about the Kid Rock event, which I want to look at that again. I used to get so pissed off at people who say shit that I don't like the Kid Rock thing or fucking MAGA people. But I don't anymore. Because I know that all my pissed offedness doesn't work. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't change anything. You're better off just letting it go. I don't get pissed off when Bruce Springsteen goes to other countries and talks shit about the U.S. Of course he's going to do that. Why not? I would too. Kid Rock does stupid shit. Whatever. I don't care. I say stupid shit all the time. That's totally hypocritical if I get pissed off at somebody who does what I do. Okay, so 8 massive shows, 8 small towns. You go with the Eagle carrying the American flag, a festival for the people. He did this last year, too. This is the 250th anniversary of the United States, which, by the way, I remember 200, 1976. Here's the 8 small towns as O'Neill joins us. And one of them is Hastings, Michigan, August 8th and 9th. Here you go. Now, that's a great lineup. I don't know any of these people, but I know it's great. I like this type of music. And, you know, I don't really know all these guys, but I know it's going to be awesome. You got daily throwback happy hour DJ sets. Great. You know how many of these hillbilly people are going to get pregnant? I wonder, they should have a spot the black guy thing where if you can actually find a black dude, you win a prize because there won't be any there. 109. Look, there's a countdown. 198 days, 21 hours, 7 minutes, 45 seconds. Rock now, pay later. Celebrate America's 250th with just $2.50 down in monthly payments. So what you're doing there is you can put the tickets on layaway because most of the people that are going to go to this thing, they don't have any money. All-in prices. What you see is what you pay. Taxes processed separately. Well, that's not all-in pricing. Base price for weekend tickets start at $149.99 plus fees. That's about $75 a day for the festival for the people. Now, yeah, but you're in with the general population there. I wouldn't want to, I mean, the infectious disease that you would possibly catch is remarkable. Camping. This is what you want. And this is what you want. Premium RV camping with 50 amp. All-inclusive price equals base price plus fees. So $1,680. I like how they say all-inclusive, which is base price plus fees. How about just tell me how much it fucking costs? Starting at $1,680. What is the most expensive one? Fuck. It doesn't really tell me. Anyway, $1,680. And on that, you get to, like, bring your camper. What's included? Guaranteed closest access to festival entrance. Limited spaces available. Accommodations, 125 by 50-foot space. Suitable for Class A, B, or C motorhomes, fifth wheels, or bumper pulls. 8 guests allowed per space. That's what Nick's talking about. So if I bought this and then sold it to all of you, okay, then you're looking at $200-$300 a pop per. But the problem with that is, and mine does sleep 8. The problem with that is then I would be with you, and I would hate that. My ADHD would be going crazy. I do not do well in any type of crowds. And most of you are probably going to get piss-ass drunk. Man Bun Chris says, I think the camping package comes with hot dogs and AIDS, too. Bread Bull Brain Chris says, what is all-inclusive? Like how many $18 Busch Lights? Well, I think it's a great thing to spend that money because you bring your own food. You know, you don't have to spend any money on food or drink. But if you were to buy like 2 days worth of tickets, that's $150. Plus, it's going to cost you $60, $30 a day to park. That's another $60. Plus your food. My God, that's a lot of money. Man Bun Chris says, do you remember when you had the Camping with EZ goal on Patreon? LOL. Yeah, that was a bad goal. Because if anybody ever met that would have been the fucking scumbag Zaniacs who did it. I love all of you. But I do not want to go camping with you. There's no fucking way I would ever do that. Even as recently as when I hosted the pool party at the house. That was awful. because of the Zaniacs. Tyler was here with his wife, and he's normal. But the problem was a lot of the other people weren't normal. Tyler had a bad experience with Boring Dean. He just didn't feel comfortable. By the way, how about the fact that Tyler came to an event? Spooky Tyler was hanging out with strangers. How the fuck is that even possible? And now we can't even get him to show up at a neutral site getting a fucking hot dog. Tofa says, I think you have some PTSD from the Zaniacs. I don't think this group would do what the Zaniacs did. Tyler says, that experience scarred me clearly. Rebecca says, join the club, Spooky Tyler. Dean creeped a lot of us out. Oh, my God. What if Tyler won't come to the corner bar because he eats hot dogs super weird? Yeah, like if he holds it like an ear of corn. He's a weird hot dog eater. Man Bun Chris says, I remember something during the Blue Lives Matter segment, and they about bit my head off. Yeah, Tyler eats his hot dogs from the middle outward. That's what has to be going on there. Piano Finger Banger says, Blue Lives Matter segment. What? Yeah, it was a different time. I didn't... some of the things were taken more seriously than others. All right, totally different topic. This chick bought a pizza. She ate almost all of it and then brought it back to the Papa John's where she bought it. She was demanding a refund, claiming the pizza sucked. The manager says, well, yeah, but you can't eat it all and then bring it back. Bring back a couple of scraps. She keeps pushing and shooting video. Let's get into this.
2 slices of one pizza, and which is 25%, and then less than half of another.
Okay.
And then you ate
that's-
all of those.
No, they didn't like it because it's very dry.
Again, ma'am, there's nothing I can do for you because that would be like me going to McDonald's, eating 3/4 of a meal and bringing them a bite of a burger and a couple of fries and expecting my money.
But we ate burnt food.
Okay, but then you shouldn't have ate it, especially when it was explained to you.
Okay, now, hold on a second here. If you have a group of people and more than one person tries it, I mean, there's more than half the pizza there. I was under the impression she ate almost all of it. Right now, I'm on her side.
I didn't stop them.
Right, so
Because they
that's
were
on you.
just-
So there's nothing I can do for you.
Can I speak with the supervisor or corporate?
I'm the manager. I mean, you can make a complaint if you like, but that's the policy set by corporate.
Wow.
I mean, like I said, man, I explained it to you twice on the phone.
Okay,
what you
let me
would
call
need.
my sister, see what she says.
That's fine.
I don't know why she's got to call her sister. Okay, so I think he wasn't rude.
Non, m'a parlé le Cindy pour SID. Non, ça pas bon. Côté Cindy paquet.
Not sure the language.
Côté Cindy paquet.
Okay, that's weird. Okay, I'm not going to lie. I thought that this was going to be more dramatic. I think that the guy who posted this, making a big deal out of it, says she keeps pushing, demands a supervisor. Well, no, she didn't keep pushing, nor did she demand. She asked. And then this person wrote, is this entitlement or should businesses just refund anything to avoid drama? I think you're making a bigger deal out of this than it is. I don't think it's anything. I think it was a disagreement between two people that didn't really have anything bad. happen. Numerous comments about calling ICE there. Tophus says not getting a refund when you ate the shit. He adds, I worked in a restaurant for 5 years and I had to deal with shit bombs like this. Man Bun Chris says, same, Tophus. You have to draw a hard line or else people try and get a free meal or more food. She wasn't bad, though. Neither was he. Okay, if I'm him, I don't give a shit about the policy. I'm looking big picture. I want her to come back, and I want her to buy more food. So what you do there, this is how you do this, because I'm great at everything. Ma'am, I'm not supposed to because you ate more than, a little bit of this, but I like you. I'm going to make you a new pizza, or I'll give you a gift card or a gift certificate so you can come back in and get a free pizza. We'll do that. In fact, I'll give it to you and you can redeem it right now. I just want you to be happy. But the next time, I'm not going to be able to do that. So if by chance there happens to be another moment when you return me a large portion, a large percentage, in this case 25% of the pizza eaten, I won't be able to do it. But I'm going to do it this time because I like you. How does that sound? Now, that's a thing of beauty right there. What are you out? A pizza. Okay? David says, I'll make you a pizza if you show me your toes. Signed, EZ. I wouldn't mind seeing a foot. And then that way, you get her as a returnee. And you're not all pissed off. She's happy. What's wrong with that? I mean, I would say that you need to have a little bit of scrutiny. And then if it happens again, tell, look, man, we went through this before. I'm not doing it again. I'm not doing it again. I think that's the way it should be. If you've heard about the community of... The only reason why I know this community is because, or this part of the world called Kamchatka, is because of the game Risk. Kamchatka, part of Russia, just experienced their most extreme snowfall ever. Over 2 meters falling in January and almost 4 meters, which all stayed there. So that's more than 6 feet. And then another 12 feet, 4 meters, 12 plus feet in December. Entire neighborhoods are buried, cars disappear under drifts, and residents are literally digging their way outside. There have been some images that have been shown that they say that they're not AI, but I don't know. Bread Bull Brain Chris says multiple Risk references in the same week. This actually is real. This is a video. More insane footage coming out of Kamchatka, Russia, where they've had the largest snowfall in 130 years. So this guy. He's in a car.
Pulling out the coupe at the lot. Told him for 12 folks swat. Busting all the bells out the box. I just hit the link with the box. Put the stick in the box. Pour up the whole damn field.
That car is in a snowdrift. Buried. So like a whole world, the cars are buried in snow. Fuck, is that unbelievable? Now, this is the one that I said, I don't know if I believe it, that it's real. This one here. But I've seen it more than once on various news sources. It says that this is actually a real photograph. This is the one. Because it not only is it a lot of snow, but it was blowing and drifting. And in between these two buildings, it made an unbelievable snow hill. It looks to be like 40 or 50 feet tall. My God. That's the one I saw. not AI, the actual view in Kamchatka, Russia, east side near Alaska. Snow drifts up the fourth floor and beyond. Actual snowfall is 12 feet. Insane. So they didn't get that much snow, but it was a snow drift from the wind up against the building. Fuck. Tofa says Chris from Buffalo has probably seen bigger snowfalls. Well, yeah, they have gotten some outrageous amounts of snow in a night. 24-hour time, you see 3 feet of snowfall. Tofa says the highest total from the storm was measured in Hamburg, New York, where 81.2 inches piled up. The official measurement at the Buffalo Niagara International Airport was 36.6 inches, which ranked as Buffalo's fifth highest three-day snowfall on record. Oh, my God. That is fucked up. Going back to chick who returned the pizza, the fact that she said, I got to go call my sister. Tova says, let me go call my sister. Okay, then what? She got to come in and do the same thing? All right. Let's see. What else do I want to talk about? Oh, my God. Coming up on the Patreon, there's a teacher in Minnesota who was arguing with the student over the shooting of Renee Good. And I can't wait to play it for you. Also, I talked to you earlier in the week about the ridiculous fight in the stands and on the field from the Senegal-Morocco soccer game. Another accusation has been levied on that. Also, there is the potential that there could be exploding trees in some of the northern parts of the United States, including part of Michigan. Exploding trees because it's going to be so goddamn cold. Be thinking of your asshole of the day, folks. Hello to King's Room Barbershop. 3 locations, Northland Drive, Caledonia, and at 821 36th Street in beautiful Wyoming, Michigan. Their website is kingsroom.net. If you want to get your hair cut, it's going to cost you $21. If you are a veteran, by the way, I smell anal glands here. What did you do? Oh, God, these dogs. If you're a veteran, both active or retired, I should say, if you're in the military, active or retired, your haircut is $18. Chris was in the military, and so he gets that discount. So that's cool. Frank Fuss, for all the information you could possibly handle on getting your insurance through healthcare.gov. Reach out to Frank at appointmentwithfrank.com. He'll help you with everything you need to make sure you are situated with the right setting, right insurance policy for you and yours. Just go to appointmentwithfrank.com. That's appointmentwithfrank.com. Tophus says, does the anal gland smell like fish? It does. It's a very unfortunate sound, and it's quite strong. Bruce was just sniffing Darla's butt. Yeah, that's why. That's a very dog thing to do. Because sometimes when my dog licks his asshole, it smells like fish. It's very strong. Yeah, what happens is the dog, they love that smell, and they want to eat their own ass. So when the anal gland releases its juice into the air, like it just did with her, they're like, oh my God, I've got to eat my ass. So they do. Like right now, she just had a delicious filet of fish sandwich. She's thinking about going back for more. She can smell it. Tyler says metallic fish. It's a very distinct odor. Yeah, it's rough. There's no question. Piano Fingerbanger says, just add this to the list of cats being better than dogs. You know, I get that. There are a lot of reasons. And I'm smelling one of them now. Tofa says, is that called expressing the anal gland? I don't know. I guess. Maureen says, ha! My cat farted in my face last night. All right. Thank you for supporting my ADHD by paying attention to this show. The asshole of the day is Pizza Hut lady, I guess. I was bullied into that. Thank you, as always, for being here. I appreciate you. I'll talk to you on the Patreon. Till then, have a good one. Bye-bye.